Eileen Gu wins halfpipe gold, becomes most decorated freeskier ever. Women's freeski halfpipe was one of the last events to take place during the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games after heavy snow caused the competition to be postponed. Following a qualifying round, 12 skiers, including favorites like Zoe Atke, GBR, Cassie Sharp, Can, Li Fanghui, CHN, Svea Irving, USA, and Eileen Gu, advanced to finals with Atke, Fanghui, and Sharp in the top 3 qualifying spots, respectively. Earlier in the week, Gu, who was the only female skier to compete in halfpipe, slopestyle, and big air, took silver medals in slopestyle and big air behind Mathilde Grimaud and Megan Oldham, respectively. Gu's silver medal in big air officially made her the most decorated Olympic freeskier in history, a point she reminded the world in a clip that went viral after a journalist asked, "Do you see it as 2 silver medals gained or 2 gold medals lost? I'm the most decorated female freeskier in history. I think that answer speaks for itself," she said, laughing at the question in the clip. Tap or click below to watch. Keep reading for more. Gu spoke out after Olympic organizers scheduled a halfpipe training day that overlapped with big air training, causing her to miss a whole day of halfpipe training and putting her at a disadvantage as the only woman in the field competing in both. However, clearly, the training setback didn't hinder Gu too much. In finals, Gu scrapped her first run before opening her second run up with a 12.5 feet 900 big. Gu then linked a 900 and a 700 tail grab, a switch 700, before finishing with huge back-to-back alley-oop flat 500s. Her second run earned a score of 94.00, which she increased to 94.75 in her final run by cleaning up some of her grabs. Gu's gold medal in halfpipe brings her to 6 career Olympic medals, making her the most decorated Olympic freeskier in history. She revealed during a post-event press conference that she'd gotten news of her grandmother's passing just after completing her historic run. Gu posted a tribute to her grandmother on Instagram later, saying that the last time she'd seen her before leaving for the games, she hadn't promised her grandmother that she'd win, but had promised to be brave as her grandmother had. Gu was joined on the women's halfpipe podium by fellow Chinese competitor, Li Fanghui, who took silver with a score of 93.00, and the top qualifying skier, Zoe Atke, GBR, who took bronze with a 92.50. Atke, like Gu, also attends Stanford University. Sharp, who qualified in 3rd place, did not compete in the finals after a fall during qualifying, which left her with a head injury. On a cold February night beneath the floodlights, the halfpipe looked less like a venue and more like a cathedral of winter, a gleaming corridor of sculpted snow where gravity bends to courage. At the top of that icy amphitheater stood Eileen Gu, calm, poised, headphones tucked over her ears, eyes tracing the curve of the pipe as though reading a familiar poem. Moments later, she would drop in and make history. When she soared out of the superpipe to claim gold at the Winter X Games, she didn't just win another medal. She became the most decorated freeskier in the history of the competition, a milestone forged through audacity, discipline, and a rare kind of artistic fluency in the air. But medals alone don't tell her story. The poetry of the pipe. Halfpipe skiing is a dialogue between athlete and gravity. Each wall is a question. Each launch is an answer. Gu's skiing feels less like a series of tricks and more like choreography. As she dropped into the pipe for her gold medal run, her edges whispered against the snow before exploding into amplitude, that precious currency in halfpipe. Higher. Cleaner. Calmer. A left double cork 1080, effortless. A right double cork 900, textbook precision. Switch hits executed with the confidence of someone rewriting the margins of the sport. What sets her apart isn't simply difficulty. It's the silence in her body mid-flight, the way she seems suspended in her own weather system, untouched by pressure. In a sport where margins are measured in degrees and milliseconds, Gu skis with clarity. Judges reward amplitude, execution, variety, and progression. She delivered all 4, threading technical complexity with balletic control. And when her skis touched down for the final time, there was no frantic glance at the scoreboard. Just a quiet exhale. She already knew. A career built on duality. Eileen Gu's journey has always unfolded between worlds. Born in the United States and competing internationally with a global lens, she has carried the weight and privilege of cultural duality. That layered identity has shaped not only her public narrative but her competitive mindset. She speaks often about possibility, that you can be more than one thing, belong to more than one place, pursue more than one dream. Before she was rewriting record books at the Winter X Games, she stunned the world at the 2022 Winter Olympics, capturing 3 medals, including 2 golds, as a teenager. The world saw a prodigy. What they didn't see were the quiet years of repetition. The bruised hips. The endless airbag sessions. The academic rigor balanced alongside elite sport. Jiu studies physics. She models. She advocates for girls in sports. She trains at altitude and reads philosophy on flights between competitions. Contradiction? No. Composition. Her success in the halfpipe is not isolated brilliance, it is the byproduct of integration. Mind and body aligned. Fear metabolized into focus. Pressure, rewritten. The narrative around GU has often centered on expectation. Each podium has amplified it. Each endorsement has magnified it. Becoming the face of a generation is a burden most athletes never choose. Yet in the halfpipe final, pressure seemed irrelevant. Why? Because she has reframed it. Rather than chasing legacy, GU chases improvement. Rather than defending medals, she expands her skill set. This subtle mental pivot allows her to compete forward instead of backward. She skis not to protect what she's earned, but to discover what's possible. When she launched her final hit, towering above the lip with surgical timing, it felt less like a defense of dominance and more like an invitation to the future. The crowd erupted. Teammates cheered. Snow sprayed under stadium lights like shattered glass. History was made not in a single jump, but in a mindset. The evolution of women's freeskiing. GU's achievement does not exist in isolation. Women's freeskiing has accelerated dramatically over the past decade. Tricks once considered aspirational are now competitive necessities. Young athletes arrive on tour with rotations that would have medaled just years ago. In this arms race of progression, GU has remained at the forefront. She is not simply executing the hardest tricks, she is stabilizing them. Making them repeatable. Making them look inevitable. That reliability is what separates